I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with a hair care product. This is from the brand Hask, and it's the Argan Oil from Morocco. It's made with argan oil repairing hair oil. 2 US fluid ounces. Okay, so I bought this because somebody had mentioned in the comments when I had hauled the Sally's One and Only Argan Oil, that oil product that I'd been using for years on my hair. I had restocked on 3 of the large sizes, and somebody had mentioned that they changed the formula. Well, in the interim, I was using an older bottle that I had from months back because I also stocked up on it. And so I was like, I'm going to try this new version and see if it's different, right? Because somebody had commented that it was, and it was not the same formula, right? It is not the same formula, and I'm super, super sad about it. The new Sally's oil is clear, and the older one is got like this kind of bronzy tint to it. But when I was looking at the ingredients between the two, because I have an older bottle and a newer bottle, it doesn't have cyclopentaloxane in it anymore. And I believe that that is like the key ingredient for my hair. So I need to find something to replace it because the new One and Only Argan Oil is just not it anymore. And that's kind of what happened with the AG the leave-in conditioner hair treatment that I would use. They switched the formula on that too, and it's just not the same. So I've really been loving the Gizu honey infused leave-in treatment, and then loving it with the older version of the Sally's, but I gotta find something new. So I got this one because it's got cyclopentaloxane as the first ingredient, and then dimethicanol is the second, and the third ingredient is argan oil. So I haven't used it just yet because I just got it. So we'll see, because it was only like, I think $6, which is pretty affordable. And then there are 2 other oils that I had seen on the Ulta website that kind of have a similar formula to the Sally's that I'm going to end up purchasing as well. One was from Sebastian, and I think the other one was Chic. So I'm going to give those a go as well. But if this is it, that's pretty inexpensive for this bottle. So again, I'm yet to use it, but I can't believe why would companies change something that's so good? You know, it just boggles my mind. It happens all the time though, doesn't it? So this bottle here, nice. It's got a pump on it. How convenient. The Sally's ones, you just had to like squeeze some out of like the bottle. So this you can just pump into your hands. So that's that guy. Again, that's the Hask Argan Oil from Morocco, repairing hair oil, right there. I also picked up the new Laura Mercier Real Flawless Luminous Perfecting Pressed Powder. It just sounded like something that I would really like. 7 grams of product, 0.24 ounces, so you're not getting a ton of product really. This version here is talc free. I see in the ingredients on the back, but it says this ultra creamy baked pressed powder blurs the line between makeup and skin to reveal a healthier looking luminous complexion. The skin loving formula provides perfecting coverage so weightless you'll forget you're wearing anything. So it's this guy right here. I believe there are 4 shades of this available. I got the lightest one in translucent, and this is the powder that I used to set my whole face today. This is what the compact looks like. It's kind of a soft matte nude shade. And then it's a baked domed powder. You can see the dome on mine is looking a little funny because when I went to pick this up on a brush, I was having a hard time getting even coverage of product to set my face. And when that happens, and then I go in with a brush when I don't have like an even coating of powder on the brush to set and enough powder, it will pick up my foundation and it'll look patchy. So I always like to have an even coating of distribution of powder on my brush. It's a whole thing, okay? And this one I couldn't, like, no matter how much I like grinded my brush into it, I was like beating up my brush. It was a synthetic one, so I wasn't as worried about it. It's just really hard to kind of pick up enough product. So what I did was go in with a spoolie and I scraped the product off, which is what I do a lot of the times when I get products that are pressed really hard, because I don't want to beat my brush up like grinding it in there, you know? So I did that to get enough product and be able to set my whole face. And this powder does have a sheen to it. I feel like it emphasizes pores kind of around my nose and on the center of my forehead a little bit more than like I ever noticed, really. I don't have a super, you know, bad pore problem, but they looked larger today than they usually do. And then it does have this pretty sheen, but I think it kind of emphasizes some texture. And it also is a much heavier powder on the skin in comparison to like I've been using that Makeup Revolution in Real Life powder, which is so thin and sets really well. This is much like thicker. And then on top of that, it's very, very yellow. Like I use the Bare Minerals foundation in Flax, which is a typical foundation for me. And this powder turned my skin pretty yellow. I think it still has a hint of yellow, but I went and counteracted it with the Hourglass ambient lighting powder with Mood Light and Ethereal Light. I mixed the two together to finish my face as opposed to the Guerlain Meteorites, just to kind of tone down how yellow it looked, and I think it did a good job doing that. So this is the Mood Light, which has got like a pinky purplish kind of tone to it, and then I mixed it with Ethereal because I didn't want it as strong as the Mood Light to finish off the face instead of, again, the Guerlain Meteorites. And it turned out okay like that, but I do think that my skin looks a little bit more makeup-y than it normally does. And then the other thing that I had noticed was I was having a hard time getting my bronze contour to stick to the powder. I've used a couple different ones and I just kind of couldn't build it up without like really packing it on. And then I also went in with this new Chanel blush that I'm going to show you as well. And I couldn't get that to really adhere to the skin well either. Neither of those products wanted to like grip my skin with this powder on it. And then I don't know what the deal is, but there's like some little like patchy spots, things that aren't like normal when I use like I don't know, like the In Real Life from Makeup Revolution. Like right here, it just looks it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it looks like dark right here. Like it almost picked up that foundation when I went to set it, and then it doesn't want to stick. Nothing wants to stick to that area, that kind of thing. So the jury is out on this. I'm not crazy about it so far, that's for sure. I do really like the original Laura Mercier loose setting powder. It is another powder that's a little bit heavier on the skin in comparison to some others, but it's still really pretty. And I do think that this one here has got a bit of coverage to it as well. But yeah, I think you can see right there, it's very yellow. And you can see there as well that it's got some pigmentation to it. So yeah, I'm going to play around with it a little bit more and see, but we're not off to a good start. So that's the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Luminous Perfecting Powder in Translucent. Right there. I also picked up one piece from the new Chanel Spring Collection. It's the Fantasy de Chanel Illuminating Blush Powder. Limited edition 0.24 ounces of product, or 7 grams, which, funnily enough, this blush has got just as much product as this powder. That powder, that Laura Mercier powder too, was expensive. It was like, I think $46 or $48. Anyway, this Chanel here is made in Italy. It's like a baked jelly product, which you guys know I love. This is the box packaging. The compact does come with a little pouch, and then there's also a secondary little pouch that has a brush in there if you like to use these. These are actually functional if you wanted to use them. These are very super soft synthetics. I typically don't, but these are functional. It's got a little Chanel on there. And then here is your compact right here, and then here is your blush. So I went in with this guy today, right, for a blush, and I couldn't get it to stick to the skin. I'm blaming the powder because I had the same problem with the bronzer, the contour bronzer that I used as well. And so I did go in with the cream from, just a bit of it, the cream from the One Size duo, this guy right here. It's in Attention Seeker. I used that as a base to get this to adhere better because I really wanted to use this. So I do have that underneath this for a base to get this to kind of adhere a little bit better. I think that if I use my normal powder, it'll be fine. There are some really like fine silver shimmers in here. Again, this is a baked jelly product, and you can see it's a lighter pink with a lot of shimmer, like on a medium deeper skin tone. This might be a really beautiful pinky highlight. But it's got pigmentation to it. Like I was expecting it. Even my hands are pretty dry and it's sticking to the back of my hand, you know. I just couldn't get it to really adhere to my skin. And I am blaming that powder, unfortunately, for that because I don't think it's going to do it by itself, because that's not typically a problem that I have with blushes, getting them to stick to my cheeks. I do with highlighter, however, on the top of my cheekbones because it's drier there. And then also there's a little bit of setting powder, so it makes it harder to kind of stick there. It's beautiful though. I am going to use it over a different powder and see how that goes. I was tempted to get the quad from this collection too. It looks like there's a deep enough shade for the crease and a light enough one to kind of highlight and stuff, and it looks so springy and pretty. There's something about spring collections that really get me, probably because I got some serious cabin fever. But that Chanel collection looks so pretty. I was gonna get one of those highlights too, the stick balms, and then I read some reviews that they are that more kind of slicky, oily formula, which those just do not work for me. They'll pick up my foundation and stuff. I typically like one with a little bit more of that silicone formula where it's not as like grippy and tacky and kind of hydrating, I guess. But anyway, this is really pretty. So I do have it on my cheeks today with that Attention Seeker cream as a base. Then I picked up one of the new Nars Afterglow Sensual Shine lipsticks, and I got it in Orgasm 777, 0.05 ounces of product, or 1.5 grams. And this guy here is made in the USA. So this is the box packaging, and I wanted to get the light nude shade, but they didn't have it in the store, so I might end up getting that one at some point as well. But this is what the packaging looks like. Again, this is the shade Orgasm, and this is what I've got on my lips today. And this particular shade, I think the other ones look like they have like a cream texture to it, and this one's got some shimmer in it. When you put it on, you can feel like the kind of a little bit of grit from the bullet, but like I don't feel a ton of grit when it's on my lips, but I can feel it when I'm putting it on because there's a bunch of sparkle in here. But look at how pretty that is. This formula is thin. It's on the thinner side. Almost like when I first started putting it on, I was like, this feels like I'm putting on a really like glossy lip balm. That's what it felt like. So let me give you a solid swatch here. I've got it on with Too Faced lip liner in Badass, and I've been enjoying it. Again, it sits very, very lightly on the lips, but it is a thinner formula with a bit of a slicky feel to it. So it'd be interesting if the lighter kind of cream shades have that thinner formula, if it's going to settle in the fine lines and stuff. This one for me hasn't. It sat really well for being that more hydrating thin type of formula. So far so good on the Nars Afterglow Sensual Shine lipstick in Orgasm. It's very, very pretty. It doesn't taste like anything, doesn't smell like anything, and it's got a click style packaging right there. I also got in another order from Chic Decent, which is one of my favorite websites. I said this on my last haul when I did from Chic Decent. It's so hard not to want to try one of everything on that website. Their stuff is so like cute. But I placed another order because I've got some serious fear of not being able to find a powder like this like ever again. So I bought 6 more of these. They're the Flower Nose Circus powders. Officially the Flower Nose Circus Series loose powder, and I have the 101 transparent right here. So I got 6 more of those guys. This is what I love to set underneath my eyes. It is the finest, most thin powder I've ever used, and it blurs and sets really, really well. Like, it just is stunning underneath the eyes. You guys have heard me talk about this for quite some time. This is what the packaging looks like. So that was my initial reason for placing an order on Chic Decent. And then I did throw in this little Hold Live Flower Tea Diamond Flash Highlighting Powder. This guy's got 3.8 grams of product in there. And like almost every product that I get from Chic Decent has an expiration date on it too. Although with powder products, I don't really adhere to that. I kind of go by how the product is kind of performing. Whereas cream products, those have a tendency to leave the collection a lot sooner. So here is the packaging. Very cute and dainty, which a lot of the products are. So Chic Decent is I believe it's a Sea Beauty, would it be? Makeup site. They have a lot of brands that are Asian based, and I've kind of been on the hunt to find a highlighter with the same formula, again from Flower Nose. It's this guy right here. This is the Little Angel collection, because this is also discontinued. And this formula, it's got like a gellied texture, kind of like a cross between a baked jelly and a Super Shock. Not as spongy as a Super Shock though. But it adheres to the skin. It adheres to my dry skin and buffs out so pretty. So I'm on the hunt to try to find this formula because it is like a Chinese-based beauty brand, right? So I've been here and there buying different highlighters from Chic Decent. Long story short, okay? So this is H03. And this one here is closer to something like the Fenty Diamond Bomb as opposed to something like the Flower Nose one that I just showed you guys. It's got a very translucent base with some silver sparkles in it. And it doesn't actually swatch as well on my finger as when I pick it up on a brush. And I do kind of, you know, work my brush in there pretty well to pick it up, and then I like to put it over something like one of the ColourPop stick highlighters, and it looks just stunning because all those little sparkles stick. They're like super fine little sparkles, but not the same formula, like I said, as the Flower Nose, similar to something like the Fenty Diamond Bomb. So that is from Hold Live in the shade HO3 right there. And I was happy to say, the last time that I placed this order, I think it took about 2 weeks to arrive. So they're getting like faster on the shipping, which is really exciting. And I do have another bucket full of things. We'll see if I hit the buy button or not. Another thing about Chic Decent is they always have free things in the packaging, and it's not like a little sample or something. They're like full-size products. Every single time that I've ordered from there, I've gotten 3 or 4 free full-size products. So in this order, I got some as well. They sent over another cute little Mr. Paper notepad, and then they also sent over this Flower Food Bear. It says "We Are Flower Food Bear" from the brand Fleurette, and this has got like a little setting powder, highlighter, and then also a bronze contour shade. So this is the packaging. See, it's like a full-size product, you know. And then this is what I've been wearing for the last couple days as a bronze contour because it's so neutral. Like, it doesn't lean red, which I do like a red kind of bronzer. It doesn't lean orange. It just is a very neutral but easily wearable bronze contour shade. So it's actually what I have on my face today. And it probably doesn't look quite as strong today as when I had been using it previously because I had a hard time getting it to stick with that Mercier powder underneath. But this is what it looks like. So I've worn it enough where I've messed up the embossing that's in the powder there. And then this is that little translucent powder. And this is the highlight that I've got on as well. And that formula is very similar to the Little Angel compact formula, where that highlighter just adheres to the skin by itself, a drier skin type too, and it just buffs out so pretty. Like, look at the reflective shine of that. It's so stunning. I wish I could just buy that in like a bigger size, which we'll see. I'm gonna dabble. I'm trying to try one of everything off the whole website, I think. So like, look how neutral that is. And I'm not sure if this comes in other shades. This one, it says on the back. It doesn't say on the back. I'll look on the box here in a minute. If this comes in other shades or not. And I've just been mixing all of them together to kind of get this tone right there on my skin. And it's not too gray. It's not too anything. It's just very neutral. And then this is just a translucent kind of setting powder. And then this is the highlighter that I have on, and it's so pretty. I want to find like a full-size highlighter like that texture. And that was free. And I love it. Yeah, I don't see a shade on this one, so maybe it's the only one that they have. A lot of the writing is in Mandarin, so that doesn't help me trying to tell you, but it's this guy right here. They also sent this blush from Go-Go Tales, and this is in the shade 604 Vitality Slightly Drunk Blush. So this is the box on this one. 7 grams of product. How cute is the packaging? That's another thing that you'll get from products off the site. Their packaging is so cute on almost everything. This has got like a soft matte texture to it. And there was an overspray in here, but I've used this a couple times. I think you can kind of see a little bit over there. And it's just a really pretty shade. It's pigmented. It blends out super easy. It's so pretty. So there's a couple more shades of this that I've actually got sitting in the bucket. Because it's really nice. So that is 604, and again, that is the blush from Go-Go Tales. And then lastly, again for free, they sent this Chio Tour. I think that's the brand, Chio Tour, I think. It's a eyeshadow palette, and this is the shade 05. 05, and it's a dusty pink. And this palette is super stunning as well. It's got two really beautiful highlighty shades. This is more like that kind of topper, but when I packed it over a tacky base, it was just super, super sparkly. These feel like silk. They're so, so soft and finely milled, and they blend out like nobody's business. So I also want to take a peek at the other varieties of these palettes too, because it's so, so pretty. So those are the mattes. Oh, there's one more matte. Let me get the other matte in there. Right here. So those are the matte shades. And then this is kind of a split pan. So I'll swatch them separately. This one's got a little bit more sparkle. And then this guy. Like, so pretty. I wore the blush, the contour highlight palette, and this, which, funnily enough, were all free products, and I did that look all together, and it looked really, really pretty. I don't know if you guys seen like some Asian like beauty advertisements or like the pictures when they do their makeup. It's so delicate and dainty and like really, really pretty. And I'm so like not that person, right? But when I used those three products that day, because they do have some nice pigmentation to them, I felt like I was headed in that direction, but it was enough where I still felt like myself, but it still was like a dainty, really pretty makeup look. Anyway, I love Chic Decent. This won't be my last order. I already know that. And then for what it's worth, I did pick up the Morphe and Ariel brush set. I stayed up till 12:01 because that was what time the new things showed up on the Ulta website during the 21 Days of Beauty, because I wanted this so bad. It was 50% off, and I've been eyeing this brush set for quite a while. There was just something about the way that they look, the way that the bristles look, the handles, everything about it was very appealing to me. So when it went 50% off, I was like, I'm gonna get it. And I'm so not disappointed at all. This is the box that the set came in. And then it also comes in another like very nice box. And then here are your brushes. And there's also a sponge as well. I've got one brush out of there. I've got this guy right here. Let me kind of pull some out. So these are all the face brushes that are in there, and they're not super weighty. I think they would have felt like more expensive if they felt a little bit more weighted, but they feel really nice in the hands. They have like a kind of almost a soft matte texture, but it's not one that it's like a coating that I think is going to come off, you know? And then they even have the little numbers on the bottom of the brush, kind of where that slant is at, and they're very, very soft synthetics. Typically I do like a synthetic that has a little bit more of a textured end to it. These ones are smooth with just the tiniest bit of texture towards the bristle. So I think if I could change one thing about that, I would just put a little bit more texture towards the ends of the bristles, but they're so soft, like super, super soft brushes. I hope that they come back into stock, and I'm not like showing these for no reason, but they feel really, really nice. So I am very glad that I picked them up. The only two pieces in the bunch that I'm not crazy about are the double-ended brush, because I don't really use this style of brush on either end, and then also the sponge, because I like something with a little bit more point to get in the inner corner. Even though it's pointed, it's going to get bigger when I get it wet, but this sponge is really soft, like super, super soft. I've never tried a Morphe sponge, so that'll be interesting. So there's that double-ended brush, and then these are the eye brushes that are in there. And I'm probably going to turn this one into a setting brush for that flower nose powder, because this is where I use the flower nose powder, which I should just do a get ready with me or something like that, because I haven't done one of those in a while, but I'm like, I don't have a lot of time. That's the unfortunate part. But anyway, I set it right in this part right here with concealer, and then I set right here and down this portion of my nose. That's where I put the flower nose powder, and it's just so undetectable on the skin. Anyway, this brush I think is going to be really good for that. And those are the eye brushes that are in the set as well. So that's the Morphe and Ariel brush set that I managed to get during the 21 Days of Beauty. And then I could not help myself and I picked up the Morphe Heat Seeker eyeshadow palette. It's the Artistry palette, a total of 0.65 ounces of product. And they kind of took inspo from the Too Faced palettes. Although this packaging, it's that tin style, like the kind of chocolate bar, but it feels more flimsy than the Too Faced packaging, which it feels a little bit sturdier. This one's just a little bit more of a flimsy package. And then this guy here, I should tell you where the brushes are made as well. This palette is made in China, and the Ariel brush set is also made in China. But this color story just really got to me because of how much yellow is in here, and it looks super, super summery. I wanted to wear this today, but I felt like it kind of clashed with the pink cheek that I had on. So I wore a different palette that I'll show you here in a minute as well. So again, here's the packaging, and then there's a paper with the shade names on it. And then here are your shades. And these are super pretty. The deepest shade in here is this one right here. So I think that they could have done one or two deeper shades than that. But for me, like with my lighter skin tone, that works for deepening the crease, but it is the darkest one in the palette. So again, they could have done some deeper ones, but there's some beautiful shimmers in here, both light, mid-tone, and deeper, and just some really pretty mattes. And the formula is really lovely. And then these guys. These next ones. And this bottom row. I don't feel like this orange and yellow of a color story is super frequent out there. It's kind of unique. And yeah, I just love the colors in here. And then these last two. Just really, really pretty. Again, it could have used a deeper shade in there though, because that is the deepest one, which again, it works on my skin tone, but I'm pretty fair, you know. Real once more of the swatches here. So that is the Morphe Heat Seeker palette. And that is everything that I got in that I purchased this week. I did get in some lovely PR packages. This first one is from Wet n Wild, which I was super excited about. This is their Sesame Street collection. It is so cute. It's going to be hard to like, I probably won't. I'll probably use this box to store something in because it's super, super cute. Kind of like their Snoopy collection that has the same style vibes as that, but obviously different products, but same kind of vibe. Very cute. So in the box, there was this glitter gel, Zippity Zap glitter gel, which I don't know, there's some large hearts and stars in here, which I thought it might be cute to kind of pick those up and like stick them on certain parts of the face, but we'll see, because it's not super saturated with the particles in there, but very cute packaging again. And then there's also the 4-piece makeup brush set right here. And these brushes are quite lightweight, and I mean the handles do feel plasticky, if you will, but let me tell you, they are very, very cute. So like I would use a brush like this one right here, very super soft synthetic. These ones are not textured on the bristles, they're like smooth all the way to the end. So something for like loose powder, they'd work really well because they are so soft. But you've got a Big Bird powder brush. It's just so cute, right? And then you've got an angled blush brush with Cookie Monster on there. And then there's 2 eye brushes, one with Oscar, and it's a domed brush, and then you've got a flat shader with Elmo on there. Just a very, very cute little brush set there. And then there's also the We Want Cookie hand mirror. This is the box packaging on this. And you've got Cookie Monster on here, and then there's a mirror on the other side of that guy. There's also the Cowabunga eyelash curler, and this has got Cookie Monster with a little cookie on there. I actually use the one that came with the Snoopy collection a lot. I use them to curl false lashes. I find that the lashes, they last quite a while, but they'll start to lose their curl, so I really like to crimp them so I get more like use out of them and they still kind of curl upwards. That's kind of what I use eyelash curlers for. I like never use them on my own eyelashes. I never have, but this is what this eyelash curl looks like. The one from Snoopy had a little Snoopy guy hanging from it and it's red, but I really like the theming that they're doing that with the tools. There's also this 3-piece multi-stick set. So it's called multi-stick, so you should be able to use them. It says delectable multi-stick set features 3 multifunctional makeup sticks in velvety cream to powder formula that applies seamlessly to eyes, cheeks, and lips. Mix and match to create multiple delicious looks. So these guys here, I'm not fully sure where these colors would be used on the face, but this formula is very, very creamy. And it doesn't quite set down fully. It doesn't have like a budge-proof set down. So I think that like for an eyeshadow base that you're going to really set it with powder, they'd probably work the best for that. But there's this blue shade right here. And then a deep shimmering brown right there. And then kind of a mid-tone taupey metallic brown as well right here. And these are twist up like this. So yeah, for me, I think the only way that I would use them as a base for other eyeshadows, because they do stay creamy for quite a while. Like they've got a lot of like blendability to it. So like I swatched those on there. They're kind of a little bit sheer, but you can see there's some playtime there, you know. And when I had first swatched these, I had put them on my hands and I just let them sit there because I thought, what if these would be good like waterline liners? But then I went in and I went like that and they all kind of smudged. So again, I think that they'd be best for kind of eyeshadow bases. And then there are 2 lipsticks, a red and a pink metallic. The pink is the one that I'll get kind of the most use out of. This one here is the shade Giggles. And it's got, I think, Elmo on there, yeah. That's actually like kind of like a because I haven't worn this yet. I've worn the pink one, which is really quite pretty, but I didn't wear this one yet. And that's actually a really wearable kind of balmy cherry red. I think this might be super pretty in the summertime actually. So that's the Giggles shade. You do have to be careful with the Wet n Wild lipsticks because they don't go all the way down. So when you put the cap back on, so you don't kind of clip it. And then the other shade is Be Kind. And you know what? I've seen this character, this little gal was in the glitter too. That's the only like Muppet character in the collection that I don't know about. I don't know what her name is. At least I don't remember. So this is Be Kind. And this is a really pretty like metallic, cool tone pink shade. But it looks like both of these lipsticks look a little bit more intense in the bullet than they actually are. They're actually more wearable in my opinion. And these have like, if anything, maybe a slight fruity scent, but it's not a lot. Even like look at the outside where it says Sesame Street right there. Did I say the Muppets? I think I said the Muppets. I didn't mean the Muppets, I meant Sesame Street. And then there is this Tickle Me Lip Tingling Gloss right here. This also looks a little bit more scary in the tube. And this one smells like candy, like almost like a Jolly Rancher. But a very light, easy to wear kind of tint to it. That is the Tickle Me Lip Tingling Gloss with Elmo on it. And then there are 2 really pretty glosses. You've got Fairy Tales right here, which is a lighter kind of baby pink, and then a little bit deeper, but still a light pink shade in Fun Sized. So here is Fairy Tales. And this one has that same kind of light sweet scent to it. And that's what the packaging on that looks like. And then you've got Fun Sized, which has got a little bit more pigment and warmth to it. So that one is fun sized right there, and that's what's on that guy. And then lastly in the collection is the Wet n Wild 123 Sesame Street palette for eye and face. And this is very cute too. I've noticed in their newer palettes, it's not a sticker that's on the packaging. It's actually printed on the plastic, which I appreciate. It just makes it feel a little bit nicer in my opinion. The first ones that they were doing like this, I think they were stickers. I think the Care Bears one was a sticker, but this is actually printed on the packaging. And this guy here has got a total 0.69 ounces of product, and it is also made in China. And this guy here is actually the palette that I have got on my eyes today. And I always have to chuckle because I feel like, you know, I've been a longtime fan of Wet n Wild, right? I've got so many eye palettes from them, right? But I feel like the look is so pretty. And this is what it came from. And it's great. And I've got such expensive eyeshadows. So anyway, I have to giggle at myself sometimes. But this has actually got two pressed glitters in it. It's the blue and this these two shades right here. And I did use a little bit of NYX glitter glue over the pink. I tapped it on and then I put just a bit of this glitter, that orangey kind of yellow glitter over the top of this pink eyeshadow. And I just think it looks so pretty. It's an all-in-one palette for me. I've got this guy underneath the brow, this one in the crease, these three to blend out, and then this one on the majority of the lid with a dash of this in the center, and topped it with that glitter. And I had very little fallout with it as well. I'm reading some of the characters. Did some really cute embossing in there. I want to get my hands on that new e.l.f. American Eagle palette too. There's something about that color story that looks really pretty to me. Maybe it's because I like denim blues. That pressed glitter, both of those pressed glitters actually picked up really well on the finger. I haven't used them. Oh, I didn't do that properly, did I? Let's get a little bit more of this and swatch it proper. Right there. There's some blue left on my finger. But I didn't want to get like glitter fallout or risk it throughout the day, so I did put the glitter glue down, but they adhere pretty well. And then this one. And then these last three. There's Oscar. Yeah, how fun though. Typically I just ignore pressed glitters, right? But I'm like, they're in so many palettes nowadays. I should just find a way to use them because I do like the look of glitter. I just don't like sometimes the trouble that glitters pose. And a lot of the ones now that are coming in palettes, they have a nice suspension base to them. So they're not like, you know, glitter flying everywhere. So that could be part of it too. But I don't have any glitter fallout at all. And again, I tap that over the top of my lids. So again, that is the Wet n Wild Sesame Street eyeshadow palette right there. I saw on the website there are a couple other items in that collection too. There's like Oscar the Grouch sponge, and he's sitting in like a trash can. I want to get that. And then there's two face palettes. I kind of want to get one of those face palettes as well. And also an absolute huge thank you to Wet n Wild for sending over that collection. And then lastly, I got in a PR package from Kiss Lashes, which I had 3 pairs of these lashes in my hands in Ulta the last time that I was there. And I ended up putting them back. And so I was really excited to see that they sent me this collection in PR. So this is the Lash Couture The Muses collection. Each lash is handmade with innovative and refined faux silk lash fibers, creating the softest and most comfortable lash to date. They're designed with an elegant, soft, layered finish, creating a flawless look, truly fit for a royal. So this is the PR card that came in there. And I can say that the bands on these lashes, because I've worn 4 out of the 6 styles, and the bands are very malleable and soft. So they are very weightless feeling, like when you glue them to your lash line, they sit really light on, and the fibers are super, super soft, like the lash pieces. So I've got several of these that are out of the boxes because I've been wearing them. So I'm just going to show you guys the boxes and then the ones that I have out. I did trim all of these. I would say a third of each one of these lashes I clipped off to kind of turn them into two-thirds lashes, because I really don't like to wear a full strip. I love these Empress ones. I wore them yesterday and they're really, really long and really, really curly. So when I used my little tool to put them down and I went to take it off, it was catching on the curl part. So I had to like slide it out because that's how long and really curly these ones are. So let's get them out of here. So these ones are Empress right here, and they're long and really, really pretty. And for being that long of an eyelash, very, very comfortable. They did tickle my hood a little bit, but other than that, very comfortable set there. And then there's Noblesse, and these ones are a little bit shorter. But these ones actually packed a punch for being like a shorter, more natural lash compared to what I normally wear. Like they had just this really nice extra emphasis on the lash line. So these ones are also really pretty. And then there is the Legacy set. I love these ones. I really like them all, to be honest. There's only one pair that's just a little bit too tame for me, but that's okay because my mom likes the tame ones that she gets from me. So this one here, again, is Legacy. And then we've got Sire. And these ones were fun because they had a little bit more of a spikier look, but they're also curly. And they were also really easy to wear. So those ones are Sire. And then the two that I haven't worn so far, I did trim them to fit, but are Duchess, which these ones, the edges of these lashes are quite like curved. Like they're curved like that. And these ones are also really long. So this is Duchess. They got a nice curl to them. And then the most tame or friendly pair of lash is the Supreme lash. And this is what the Supreme lash looks like. Let me actually pull one of these off to see if I can't mimic how like soft the band is on these. Like they're just really, really soft. Soft, comfortable eyelashes. So the description certainly fits for sure. When I get a PR box full of lashes from Kiss, I like to trim them all and fit them all to my eyes, and then I like to try them all on. And a huge thank you to Kiss Lashes for sending me over their Muse collection. That is everything that I have for the haul today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.